membership rate to start for 3 hours, so we're gonna wait for 3 hours before we start because the line's all the way out to California Avenue, whatever that is. But people are making their way in. Again, if you can, please kind of squeeze in. There are a lot of people on the other side that are making their way over here now. So if you can squeeze in. We are starting our event, so on the other side, while you're drinking, eating, and having a lot of fun, come over. You don't want to miss this. There's an entire team from Taiwan, Taipei Computer Association here to work with you to scale your startup and your dream. And that's what Taiwan is about. If you can please make your way in here. If you missed this one, well, I don't know when it's gonna happen again. Thank you, Amar, for coming. I love you. This is such an awesome place. Amar's got a chip inspection company and iconic for ICTGC. Please make your way in and keep the doorway open so people can flow in. Please just come in. Please come in from the other side. If you've been to Taiwan and have taken the subway there, this is not crowded. This is considered off-peak time. So we're gonna keep packing. There's gonna be people with sticks to push you in. So get those people, if you can open up the walkway to let them in, please come in. We're gonna start, if you can kind of clear that spot so they can come in, because we got a lot of people on the other side who need to make their way here. Anyone make sure to make it to the airport. Andy's gonna go and work with Taiwan and they're gonna partner, and this is probably one person you want to make your contact before he leaves. And even not, you can find him on LinkedIn. And we got a lot of investors here who can back you, just like Taiwan can back you. Please come into this side. We're about to start. Just squeeze in the middle. There are a lot of empty spaces in the middle, so if you squeeze in, that's the prime spot. Otherwise, you have to go to the balcony, which is 4th floor. All right, so we're gonna start this, okay? But before I start, I'm gonna ask you to go through a trivia question, because we have time anyway, so actually we don't have a lot of time. And you're gonna yell the question, the answer, okay? As loud as you can. And if one of you can grab the mic and yell the answer with me, that would be helpful. Like Erica, get that mic, okay? So, let me ask you, what country is it that manufactures and produces most of the AI chips in the world? And louder than that, what country is it? Yeah. What country is the one with most numbers of precision engineers, awesome, high-ethic engineers?
Taiwan!
What country invented boba tea?
Taiwan!
That's an easy one, okay? All right. And what country is America's democratic ally and a strong technology partner?
Taiwan!
One more time.
Taiwan!
Because I think someone said China, but you got Taiwan right. You got it right, okay? Taiwan is your strong partner. So welcome to Bridging Silicon Valley and Taiwan AI Semiconductor Synergy. This is the event organized by National Science and Technology Council in Taiwan and implemented by Taipei Computer Association and InnoVEX. This is a program that they have started for ICTGC. And if you're here for that, there's a kiosk back there in that corner. The entire team from Taiwan is here to work with you. So before we start, there's actually a video I want to show you, but we're gonna skip that for now, okay? Because the next person can tell you everything about that. And it's a leadership team it's the leader for the team coming from Taiwan. And I'm gonna expect everyone to put your hand together because they came all the way here to give you information on ICTGC. So put your hand together for Sakura Yan!
Hey, good evening, everyone. Hi, good evening. So my name is Sakura Yang from the Taipei Computer Association. So thanks for joining us today at Bridging Silicon Valley and Taiwan and Semiconductor and AI Synergies, hosted by the National Science and Technology Council and organized by the Taipei Computer Association. We are very honored to join by the Taiwan's government representatives. There's somewhere else. I don't know where they are. So his presence reflects Taiwan's commitment to the international collaboration, innovation, and global semiconductor industry. So this event is made possible by many of our partner organizations, including Monjay, West Science and Technology Association, and Plug and Play, and Taiwan Next Foundation, and also Silicon Catalyst, and also Tensoro VC. So the goal of this event is to invite startups and universities and research institutes working on the semiconductor design and applications to join the IC Taiwan Grand Challenge. So we hope this event will be the beginning of close partnership with Taiwan's semiconductor industry and working together to serve the global semiconductor ecosystem. So Silicon Valley has always been a new hub, vibrant hub of new technology and innovation and new ideas. But Taiwan, on the other hand, is well known for its flexibility and also the excellent manufacturing capabilities. So by working together, we think we can create a powerful and complementary partnership, bringing fresh thinking to the semiconductor industry and meaningful innovation to the benefit of the society. So thanks again for being here with us, and we hope this is the first time to meet all of you here in Silicon Valley, but we look forward to be gathering again in Taiwan tomorrow. So thanks again, and enjoy it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakura. Thank you. All right, if you can make the way, because it's actually packed all the way on the other side, so they're gonna try to kind of at least can see us. So, all right. So thank you, Sakura. That was wonderful. This is a great event. And the next person I want to introduce you is someone who is in charge of this ICTGC program. Now there's an entire team here, so you don't want to miss that out, especially when we end this stage program. The kiosk is over there. There's at least 7 to 8 team members from Taiwan for this. So I'd like to introduce the next person. He's one of the team members that runs this program. So let's put our hands together for Jackie Chan. Not the Kung Fu one though, but this is, but he knows Kung Fu, I'll tell you.
Hello everyone. So any Starbucks here? Any Starbucks, please raise your hand, please. So if you're a startup thinking about working with Taiwan's semiconductor industry, so the IC Taiwan Grand Challenge is basically designed for you. So I'll have a brief introduction of the IC Taiwan Grand Challenge, the startup competition backed by Taiwanese government. So we're focusing on 5 key domains: AI chips and technologies, smart mobility, smart manufacturing, medtech, and sustainability. So it's as I mentioned, it's a government-supported program. So we're welcoming startups under 8 years old, academia, individuals to apply for it. So it's quite easy to for our startups, our talents to apply for it. You just apply online, submit your materials, including your core technologies, your business development, your problem solve, etc. It's quite easy. You can finish maybe in a few minutes. So for the IC Taiwan Grand Challenge, we have 3 main criteria: local connectivity, value creation, and technological innovation. So you can see the first criteria are weighed more heavily than the third one. That's because we are welcoming startups to use our Taiwanese local resource to cooperate with a semiconductor industry. And after you submitted your own materials online, we have 2 stages of a review. We have a preliminary review, we'll review all of your submitted materials, whether it's not against our regulation. And after that, for our teams, if you're global teams, you're from abroad, you just have to pitch online to our panel of judges because we have like a lot of judges from the industry, semiconductor and AI field. So expertise, they will review your pitch, your materials. And for our domestic things, you have to pitch on site to our judges. So for the IC Taiwan Grand Challenge, we have like 4 major benefits. The first one, you'll get a $30K US cash prize. We'll have like a award ceremony and free chance to showcase in Taiwan. And second, you'll get a mentorship from our expertise from the industry and like institution, schools. And also you'll get exclusive platform resources. I think it's the most appealing one to our international staff or talents because for the ICTGC winners, we'll have an exclusive platform to offer the resources you need to make your prototyping to the real production to make your dream come true. And I will talk more about that later. And the fourth, the Taiwanese startup ecosystem will provide overall a resource to help your soft landing in Taiwan. So for the platform resource, basically I can make it short. It's a one-stop shopping, so you can get what you need in this platform for the semiconductor and AI application. So get tools, get licensing, packaging, and resource matchmaking. And I will invite one of our previous winners, Fento AI Sam, to introduce himself and how he achieved by applying IC Taiwan Grand Challenge. So currently we're calling for our batch 4. It will close at the end of February. So for previous batches, we have winners from Taiwan, US, EU, Singapore, etc. So ICTGC, honestly, gaining more popularity in the world. So if you are talent and you are eager to collaborate with Taiwan semiconductor industry, it's your chance to work with our industry. So as I mentioned, currently we're calling for our batch 4. So the online application will close at the end of February. So grab your opportunity and you'll get a free chance to showcase in Computex and InnoVEX because it's these 2 shows are the most influential trade show in Asia and in Taiwan. So just you can scan the QR code and get our official website and register for it. So later I would like to invite Sam Falk from Fento AI to introduce his startups and how he achieved by the IC Taiwan Grand Challenge program. Sam, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Jackie, and thank you to TCA and all the organizers of the IC Taiwan Grand Challenge, like Sakura and friends. My name is Sam Folk. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Femto AI. So I'm going to tell you all about embedded AI inference in real-world products. But first, a little bit about myself. So I went to Stanford University, electrical engineering PhD. Never really thought of myself as a startup founder before, until AI became really interesting commercially. What I was interested in is what can you take from human brains or the brains and apply them to electronics? Because we all have this existence proof in our head, literally, that general intelligence is possible. And we're still not there yet when it comes to our electronic devices. We're thinking about building massive data centers, giant nuclear power plants, all sorts of things. We're bending over backward trying to make this work. So there's a lot of things that you can still learn from basically looking at the brain and saying, well, what can we take from here and apply it to electronics? So we are all about semiconductors and building electronics that kind of work like the brain, also the software stack and the applications. And of course, if you were going to be in the electronics industry, you will probably find yourself in an island called Taiwan. And you will probably find yourself dealing with supply chains, which of course will run you through Taiwan. So that's really it. It's really about how do you take your product and actually bring it to market in a scalable way that is cost efficient, fast, reliable. This is what it's all about. So it's really all about that last mile to get your idea to market. What Femto AI does is really thinks about putting AI in real world products. So we're not talking about, putting in a server and then trying to connect to from, from a network connection or anything. We're really thinking about right then and there, what can you do to make our product smart? So the big problem is that these AI models, these AI workloads, they're very, very, very heavy, right? It's very hard to run a huge language model or really much of anything on an embedded device, right? This is where we might have something to learn from the brain, right? If you want to break it down, you can think about how much memory intensity these things have, how much power, the complexity of deployment, right? All these things sort of stand in the way between product designers who have features they want to deploy and actual execution. So this is where we come in. We are really founded on this idea that AI models are quite over-parameterized. They do a lot of extra work, and you don't have to do all that. Right? You could really take your models and make them a lot simpler. You could say that even though my network is very big, and it has to be big to learn, once it learns to do a task, or as it learns to do a task, it can really figure out what do I need to do and what do I not need to do. So this is a high-level algorithmic idea, right? This is, you could tie it to neuroscience, you could talk development biology if you want. It doesn't really matter. The idea is that you don't have to do everything. However, to get this executed, you not only need the algorithm idea, but you also need to reduce this to what is it actually going to look like physically. So if you take that network that I just showed and we reduce it to the actual, what is the memory footprint, by eliminating all that work that we don't need to do, we can of course make that a lot smaller, which is what we're showing here. And then finally, at the end of the day, this of course has to run on a real piece of silicon. So that reduced memory footprint can be of course compressed in representation and then deployed on a piece of silicon, which you might make in a place called Taiwan. So this is what Femto AI is all about. It's about that idea that models are doing more work than they need to do. And when you combine that with the algorithm, the software, and the hardware, all co-designed very tightly together, you can unlock techniques for model developers to optimize their models that they could not use otherwise. Right? That's the differentiated advantage that we provide. So if you want 10x smaller silicon, you want 100x less power, whatever you care about, this is actually possible. But it requires this tight integration up and down the stack. Oops. Maybe press the wrong button. May have to click that again. You can go to the next slide. Okay, I'll just keep going. So that's basically the technology overview. Now, where we came in to ICTGC and the Taiwan ecosystem is how we actually get this made. So our product developers, they want these features. They want to say, enhanced speech. They want to have the voice interfaces. They want to detect sounds, vision processing, all these things, right? All these things require very tight size, power, weight envelopes. So this is something with our full stack approach that we can actually deliver and deliver to our customers. So here's just one example application if you want to do voice speech enhancement. This is a product that's actually shipping today on Amazon. You can deliver kind of like what Zoom or Google Meet or Microsoft Teams will do, where it cleans up all the noise, but you can do it in something like a milliwatt and 4 milliseconds of time. So this means that you can actually deploy this in the real world. So we can do this for all these applications, but we won't. Just know that these are the kinds of features that product developers are looking for, and it's ultimately our platform that can help make it possible. Okay, so our route to finding ICTGC was basically because we were in the ecosystem. We've been spending a lot of time in Taiwan and just talking to our suppliers, talking to all the various connections there. They're saying, oh, you're spending so much time here, and maybe you should consider working with this competition. So courtesy of Jackie and all the team here, we applied. It was a very smooth process. Cannot recommend it more highly to any of the founders or potential founders here. And it really helped connect us into, one, the supplier ecosystem. So if you want to, it's not just the big names that you might see, like TSMCs, the ASCs, right? There's a lot of other vendors there that you really should consider, even though we have great partners that we already like. But also the customers too, because a lot of our customers manufacture in Taiwan or with companies that are based in Taiwan. So these are all the things that participating in this competition unlocked for us. It was more suppliers that we could talk to. It was the actual manufacturers who made the products that our customers wanted. And it was all kind of enabled by being part of the ecosystem. Because, of course, everybody wants to work with the best. And so one of the big functions of this competition is helping to pre-vet a lot of companies. So if you can get that sign-off from the committee and the staff, then that really helps the people, the suppliers who are working with you, know that you're legit and you're real. So I think the last words I'll leave you with is that, as I said at the beginning, I didn't think of myself initially as a startup founder, right? It was really in that curiosity of how does the brain work, how do electronics work, what can we do between there, that then it's like, oh, AI is actually very interesting to everybody. It's not just a curiosity anymore. And if we don't do this sort of weird thing that we were thinking about, actually nobody will. So for the founders and really the potential founders out there, if you have an idea that kind of you uniquely have thought about or have thought about very deeply, just know that if you don't pursue it, then maybe nobody will. And so it's kind of on you to do it. And one of the great things about ICTGC is that you don't have to do it alone. You can do it in this whole ecosystem, and you can get started very quickly to get your idea from silicon, from just a silicon idea to actually pieces of silicon. So with that, thank you for the time, and I'll turn it back to Jackie and friends.
Thank you, Sam. Actually, turn to me. Thank you, Sam. We're gonna do one thing that Taiwanese love to do is taking photos. So if we can invite Sakura to come on the stage together with the speakers today. I know Andy, you do in Russia. Please come up here. Laura, please do come. And also Giannis, the speakers for today. You're gonna hear from them, I reassure you. It will just not just be photos. So if we do, we got signs too. Yes. All right. Yes. Thank you. This is super cool, okay? Maybe we talk about it. So we got the official photographer right there. One step to the left. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Now, we gotta do the Taiwanese style, right? So let's do a thumbs up for it now. Let's do a thumbs up. Big thumbs up for Taiwan. Thumbs up. The audience can do it too, okay? Thumbs up for Taiwan. Thumbs up for Taiwan. All right, audience, you're getting on film too, so thumbs up for Taiwan. All right, what about heart for Taiwan? How do you do that? Heart for Taiwan. Okay, right, okay. The audience, let's do it too. Heart for Taiwan. People are laughing, okay? But it's true. That's what we're doing. We got a heart for Taiwan. Thank you so much. Now, if you can take one step forward, we're gonna invite some of the VIPs here today. First, let's have Minja Huang, of the CEO of E3 International. Minja Huang. Wang Zong, please come up here. We have Director Alan Chan of Economic. Please come up here. I think maybe on the back. And then we have Director Yan of the Science and Technology Office. Now remember, if you are here in the Silicon Valley, these are the people that you want to connect with in Tucson. Somebody has a remote, by the way. Maybe I can take it from you for now. Yeah, it actually triggered a remote explosion device. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so Director Yan, please come up here. I think Director Yan's having Taiwan beer on the other side, but that's okay. Let's get Kai Chan of the Monty J. West Science and Technology Association. Kelly Lindbergh from Skytech here. Kelly is probably having Taiwan beer too. All right, Katie Shea, Taiwan Next Foundation. Katie, Taiwan beer for sure. And so I think we don't have a lot. Okay. Oh yes, John. Yes, John, come on stage. We're right in the VIP row. Got to be in there too. Please come up here. Okay. John, we want to see you do the "I love you" sign thing. Okay. Yes. Maybe get on the stage. That's an advanced Taiwanese photography move. All right. Okay, straight up to our photographer, Willie and Paul. Smile, remember, smile. All right, now we do the fun stuff now. Let's do a thumbs up. Everybody in the audience, thumbs up for Taiwan. All right, okay, no, I love you, okay? That's John, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. All right. Okay, thank you, everybody. Let's get the podium back up. All right, we're gonna move on. Before we move on, I want to tell you a story, okay? About 2 decades ago, there was a small company, a tiny small company in Silicon Valley. They decided to make graphic cards, it's computer graphic cards, whatever, but then they placed their trust and they formed their relationship, a friendship with Taiwan. And 2 decades today, it is the most valuable company in the world. And the CEO of NVIDIA, he said recently that Taiwan is the bedrock of AI and robotics, and it is where NVIDIA's closest partners are. So it would not be a surprise to me, one of you guys here, 2 decades from now, maybe even sooner, would own the most valuable company at that time, okay? So we look forward to that. And for that, there's no one other than our Andy can share some insights on how can get there. Will you please come on stage and let's hear from you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and this is just a wonderful event, as it always is with the Taiwanese events, so I'm really honored to be here. My name is Andy Lombard. I'm founder and managing partner of Tesoro Venture Capital. We are a new venture capital fund. We're based in Phoenix, Arizona, right next to TSMC. I would not have done this if TSMC did not decide, and thankfully, to partner with us, which is absolutely incredible. Today I'm actually learning that they may, and I'm not making any announcements for TSMC, this is public, that they may do another 6 fabs in Phoenix, so 12 total fabs in Phoenix. If you're not familiar, that's going to be about $300 billion, and 2 advanced packaging centers, as well as an R&D facility. And the whole idea, we want to try to recreate Hsinchu. We want to try to recreate the science park concept of economic and technology partnerships, so that's fantastic. And also a big shout out, because my other partner is here, John Ennis from Cadence Design Systems, who's also been so wonderful to partner with us. So our idea is to, and this is actually a very interesting, let me see, sorry. I got it right. So this topic is really a good one. So it's basically bridging capital and innovation and thinking about what is the global collaboration required. And I think there's really just 2 key takeaways. One is something I don't have to say to this group. This stuff is complicated. It's very complex. And it's going to take a lot to actually make something happen on a chip side. I know that Sam knows that. I think that everyone can kind of admit that the complexity is not just your own control. You have to interface, and you have to interconnect, and you have to work with the supply chain and so forth. So this whole concept of bridging a global ecosystem is very, very important. There's no other way that it can get accomplished. Today, in fact, Taiwan produces really the world's largest and most important chips. We are going to start producing many of those in Arizona. If you're not familiar, will be about 30% of the advanced node production will be in Arizona globally by 2030. That's the plan. I think with this new advancement of more fabs there, we'll probably end up getting at least there, maybe a little bit more. I think they want to inch it up to about 40% possibly. So the whole concept is, wow, these slides are very small. I apologize. So if you can't read this, neither can I. So, so the whole concept of complexity, I think we've really talked about. And I really want to just kind of think about this. The other concept was speed. And for us, the whole idea of this was, how can we work together to compress the speed to market? Can we compress a 10-year cycle time to 2 years? To 3 years, to 5 years. With speed comes cost, right? If we can make this not $100 million tape out effort, can we make it something smaller and something that we can go forward? So we're really into working on different programs, different innovations. Throughout the world, we're trying to do this, whether it's academia, whether it's governments, and so forth. And Taiwan has been a very fantastic place to do that. So I think speed to market is very important. One of the things that I think, and I'd love to hear from many of you founders eventually, I apologize, I'm going to have to fly right out after this, but I'd love to hear the stories, because the stories that we're hearing, and for most of our companies, they start to slow down at the interface points, at the point where they're trying to work with ecosystem partners, whether it's supply chain or future customers. And it turns out they probably got those answers way too late in their cycle. So if we could figure out a way to get that into the cycle, into the feedback loop much quicker, we think we'll be able to speed up innovation in that. So I think the first thing is we all know it's complex, and now how do we really condense the speed? Two very, very important concepts that we're going to try to focus on. Whoops. So we believe that through partnerships, this collaboration compresses that speed. So we're a little bit of a unique venture capital firm. We're working with many, many universities throughout the world. We work with ecosystem partners like TSMC, like Apple, like NVIDIA, Cadence, and others. And we really want to try to understand how would they look at de-risking the projects that we're looking at. This helps us. But it also helps the founders understand, are they on the right track? And we want to learn that as quickly as we possibly can. And that's one of the most important cycles that we want to do. So, you know, this is just a fancy way to say that we think we're doing something a little differently. We're not just putting money in. We're not just trying to be an investor and looking for returns. We're really trying to look at how can we bring something to the market quicker in this incredibly complex world. And that's the most important side. So when we think about collaboration, it could be across the board, from industry collaborations with other venture capital firms, with universities, and we're not worried about where those all lie on lines. We don't really have a competitive lens when we look at that. We're really looking at the founder's perspective and how we can actually push those out to market very quickly. So again, Tesoro, we have an accelerator and a fund, and the accelerator is designed for this complex world. We're not doing a cohort basis in a sense. We're taking rolling applications, and we're going to be with companies as long as it's needed. We'll collaborate with other accelerators and other groups as much as we need to, and as much as the companies that we work with need to. And we started that off with our ecosystem approach, where natural for us was Taiwan. So an example of that is partnering with eTree, partnering with universities, partnering with Startup Island Taiwan, MOEA, NTSC, and all the wonderful people at InnoVEX and TCA, and working on this grand challenge, which we think is an unbelievably good opportunity to apply for. From a founder perspective, I don't think it's any more like which VC is going to fund us as much as it is which ecosystem are we going to partner with and how are we going to partner with them. You're going to need that supply chain, and you're going to need that partnership. So learning, signals, stability, and momentum, all for us is the critical elements of this, and I want to speed up so our other speakers can go as well. We really see that collaboration multiplies the speed and talent. And by the way, I'm one of the biggest proponents that ideas don't exist in one geography. They don't exist in one company. They're going to be anywhere. I kind of learned that early in my career. When I was 26 years old, I was asked by Motorola's executives to go out and run Hong Kong. So I went to Hong Kong, didn't know what I was doing. And 5 years later, I was running Motorola Asia. And I learned very, very quickly the only way you can get great ideas and great companies is to go across borders into areas that you would never imagine that they could be, and then be willing to partner with those companies as well. I went on to run Motorola Ventures, and from there I learned that corporate VC is a different animal for sure. But what they did do is we helped startups de-risk their company by basically looking at the aspects of their company and seeing, would that be applied to our product groups? Would that be applied and be a customer or a pilot? So this is one of the things that we really want to try to do. Oops. Oh, that's the last one. Okay, so I think just basically we are here for you guys, and I want to say thank you again to all the InnoVEX team, TCA, and Sakura, the great job that you guys have done. I have been in many, many ecosystems throughout the world. We're going to be in many more. I have never seen one as vibrant and as alive and as potent as Taiwan. I really mean that. And I think it's a collaboration that goes across from the industry, starting off with the birth of TSMC with eTree, and to the academia, to all of the different supply chain and the government agencies that are around that and leaning forward. So I'm just so proud and honored to be a part of that. So thank you again, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. And you are a friend, and we have many friends around the world, around the globe. Taiwan is, maybe said, the friendliest face on this planet, or something like that. All right, so we still have a great speaker coming up, and she's somebody who is a partner at Silicon Catalyst, a great VC in hardware that you want to meet. Let's put our hands together for Laura Swan!
Squeeze by here. So it's great to, thank you for inviting me to do this. I'm really happy to be here. It's really nice for me to look out at this crowd and see so many young faces. And believe me, at our events, there are a lot of older people because that's what happened to our industry. You know, while all the software companies were coming in, nobody was investing in hardware. So you're going to hear a lot of themes that we're all talking about, all the VCs, you know, how hard it is to get these hardware companies up and running. Now, I came here, I'm going to age myself, almost 4 decades ago, and my first startup that I was in, I'm a kid from Wyoming, you know, that just finished my master's degree in electrical engineering. Steve Jobs was at Next across the street, and somebody, our CEO, convinced him to come watch one of our demos. And I was like, oh, can I please go? They were like, who is this dork that wants to go? I was like, no, please just let me go to this. It was really fun. My sole job was reset that switch if everything goes south. But it was super interesting for me to watch Steve Jobs, because there were not that many people in the room, but when he spoke, everyone stopped. Everyone was listening. That guy had so much charisma. So he's talking and talking, and pretty soon one of our engineers started laughing. And he goes, you don't know what you're talking about. And Steve started laughing and goes, yeah, you're right. But he kept talking. And he owned that room. And I thought, that's a super important thing to have. He had passion about what he was doing and what he was talking about. And I think all of you people who are going to be pitching, that is one lesson I wish all of you could take away. Even me. I wish, you know, I'm a geeky engineer. I wish I was a better speaker. But one thing you can do is you can show your passion for this idea that you have. Because when I'm done, when we do our screening process and I've just watched 30 pitches, the guy or the woman who had a ton of passion about what they were doing, that stays with me. And even if it's something that I didn't buy the first time, I'm going to go back and look at that. So that's one thing I want you guys to take away when you go pitch to these VCs for us. Like, be excited about what you're doing. Now let's see if I can get this moving here. Okay, so I have 10 minutes, well, now less than 10 minutes, to talk about accelerating the future. You know, how do we scale these ideas? Because it is a difficult problem. So I want, you know, back from when I started as an angel investor, and I put on here this software MVP because back then it took about 6 months and $50,000 to get a decent MVP, and sometimes less because this is the Silicon Valley. Everybody knew how to code, and they would just code it up on, you know, at night after their job. And so when they came to us, it was an easy investment to make because it didn't take that much money to get them to market. That is not the case with semiconductor startups. There's a high capital cost to do this. And everybody in this room knows that, you know, shake your head. And then time to market. Because with the software MVP, if you need to make a change, you write some code and you re-download it. With hardware, design change, you know, you have tools you have to go through, and then the semiconductor manufacturing costs are big. So even if you know how to do your changes, TSMC is a big company. They're making a lot of chips for NVIDIA right now. It's hard to get into their schedule. So these are all important things that you guys have to remember. So what happens even if you get your chip designed and you're ready to go? I put this as the valley of death, just to be a little exciting. Why? Because like I said, if you need to make a change, you have these prohibitive tooling costs. It's not cheap to do this. It's hard to get on their thing. The prototype hurdle. When you're looking at hardware, and it was interesting because he shared who his customers were. You have to be able to drop that into more than one customer, probably, if you're talking to a VC. But what if the one customer who's the biggest customer needs a change? That's expensive. I see him laugh because he's like, oh, been there. And then these operational blind spots. How do you get to market? And how do you get your operations behind you? You guys are running lean organizations to start with. We don't have a lot of money to pay people to go do this. So it's really important to have good advisors on your team. So Silicon Catalyst, and I'll say, I think there's some people here who have been involved in Silicon Catalyst. This came about to address that very same thing. When we were, Rick, who started it, was also an angel investor in our same group, is how do you get these companies to get funding? And the first thing we did is reach out to in-kind partners. So TSMC, it gives them free shuttle runs. Synopsys, free tools. And we have a whole list of in-kind partners who help these companies. This one, the middle one, expert advisors, I honestly think this is the most important one. Because if you take a look at these guys who have been around, they know a thing or two. They've been there. They've made mistakes. And it's much easier to have them keep you out of that $3 million hole you're about to fall in than raise $6 million to fix it. So it's really important to get those advisors who know what's going on to help you. And I will say something for the Silicon Valley. There's a huge geek flag out there. Why are people interested in helping? Because you know what? I may have worked on this for 30 years and didn't figure it out. I want to know the next guy or woman up if they can figure it out. There's a lot of excitement about that. The investor network. One thing we did after we started Silicon Catalyst is we started our own angel group because we could see, look, we're getting non-dilutive funding for them from these in-kind, but we had a lot of investors say to us, I want to invest in this, but I don't understand the technology. So we tapped our own advisor network, many of them who'd built and exited their own companies to become angel investors. Now, it's not an easy group to get by. They're an irascible old bunch. And you know, you hear quite often, oh, back when Jensen worked for me. So it's a hard thing, but they've been there. And once they sign up, these guys are very helpful. And I've learned a lot, honestly, just from sitting through our pitch meetings. Dr. Shiwei Sun joined Silicon Catalyst and helped us start our first fund. So he was a chairman of UMC, so he knows a thing or two about building chips. He also has the connections to find us the LPs who understand the time frame. Because investors who want to return in 2 to 3 years are not going to be happy with us if we're trying to nurture semiconductor startups. So he was key for us in Taiwan to help us get LPs who understand our market, who know how to go out there, who know how to build products. And we're not just investing, we're making introductions and helping. And I think this is why it's really fun to work with this Taiwan group. Because when we went to Taiwan, they embraced us. We met lots of investors. They actually sponsored some of our companies to come to their events. So it's been really a good relationship. So the road ahead. I mean, it sounds pretty bleak from what I'm saying so far. It's hard, it's really hard. But this huge resurgence is happening right now. You guys hit the spot at the right time. AI. I will say, you know, 5 or 6 years ago, people were investing in AI, and then a couple of them didn't do so well, so people started fleeing. But then when ChatGPT and Gemini came out, money started going back into AI. And I think at some point we're going to see this AI as a tool. You know, who can give me an AI chip that runs things? Quantum, we're starting to see a lot of quantum companies. And then auto, how do you get your chips into the auto? And especially when we think about cars that are going to start driving autonomously through neighborhoods and need connections and can't be dropped. You know, certainly you never want your car to lose connection while you're in it. You know, so there's all sorts of things that we're dealing with. And space. We were talking a little bit about where, you know, what's the edge now? Well, our edge just turned into space because we're putting chips up on satellites. So it's a very exciting time for us. I ended with the future is built on hardware, because it really is. I think that you guys are in a good industry right now. We've all been saying, find the right ecosystem for you and lean into it. Let people help you. Find the geeks out there who are excited about and passionate about the technology. Okay, that's it. I feel like John's gonna rush the stage any minute and kick me off here. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Well, geeks rule, by the way. If you have seen photos from decades ago with Bill Gates, with even Steve Jobs, he was definitely kind of geeky looking. Mark Zuckerberg, man, you've seen those photos from 30 or 40 years ago. Woo, I wonder what they do on Saturday night. Well, I was a geek too, though. I was in Taiwan, but I was a cool geek. Drink a lot of Taiwan beer, a lot of Taiwan party, but I love technology, though. So if you're a geek, decades from now, you'll be billionaires. So there's someone who can help you to become a billionaire besides Taiwan. And we're going to invite Giannis from Plug and Play to tell us about that. Welcome.
Thank you, John, and thank you everyone for being here. I'm sure there probably were at least a couple of other options of what to do on a Tuesday evening, but you chose to be here. So it's greatly appreciated because nobody would want to talk to an empty room and not have anyone to network. No, honestly, thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for having me, all the organizers and everyone. It's honestly a blast to be in any opportunity I possibly can when it comes to the folks from Taiwan, because as every other speaker till now has mentioned, it's never a dull time. It's always a blessing and a great time. My name is Giannis. I have new hair right now, as you can see. I probably need to update my headshot. But I'm an investor at Plug and Play Ventures. We're based not too far from here in Sunnyvale. That's where our headquarters are, and I primarily focus on all the investments that we do in the deep tech space. And what that title means, we will probably figure out throughout the presentation. As the kids say, he didn't understand the assignment, and I didn't either. Turns out there's 10 minutes for some knowledge to be shared, but I think I submitted maybe 30, 40 slides or so. So I don't think it's going to be possible. I'm going to be trying to freestyle a little bit to share some of the things that I think are pertinent to what we do at Plug and Play, but also what would be relevant for all of you here as the audience. To those who are not familiar with Plug and Play, we've been around for 20 years right now. We started in 2006 as a co-working space. And over time, we really have gone through a journey from co-working space to early stage investor to corporate innovation platform to an accelerator, all the way to a fund manager as of recently as well. We're present in more than 60 offices worldwide, Taiwan being one of them. That's the bridge that we are building from Taiwan to Silicon Valley when it comes to bringing founders from there to here and vice versa. We have more than 550 corporate, university, and government partners that we work with. Again, primarily our mission is to shorten the time to market. The world already goes fast, and we're helping founders move even faster to find their next customers, to find the feedback that they need for what they're building, and subsequently set them up for success for their next fundraising event. This is the footprint. As you can see, we really have expanded a lot. I joined Plug and Play in 2017, and it's definitely been a wild ride to see how we can have mechanisms and platforms and soft landing spots for these founders in almost every corner of the world. And then lastly, throughout this journey, we also are proud to have invested in more than 30 unicorn companies at this point. I know parents are not allowed to have their favorite children, but I do have my favorite one. It's a company called Einride, which was one of my first investments when I joined Plug and Play as an intern. And then just as of, I think, November last year or so, they announced their merger for $1.9 billion. So autonomous trucking, electric trucking is happening. At least that's what the record shows. But anyway, that's about Plug and Play. Why it's important to have gatherings like this and why it's important to talk about these topics. It's really the fact that it's unprecedented times. We have entered an era where the developments of technologies, the advancements that AI technology can unlock right now, it is going to be leapfrogging us as a society and the economies like never seen before. We've seen transformational inventions, whether it's electronics, whether it's combustion engine before then, or even the era of internet where software ate the world. Well, guess what? Now, it's finally sexy to be investing in these industries that were neglected in the SaaS era. We can invest in semiconductors and microchips. We can invest in manufacturing and industrial technologies. We can invest in spacecrafts because the unit economics start to make sense. And most importantly, what I want to highlight on this slide, AI is not the end result. AI really is an enabler in many cases. So what is the world going to be running on? It is compute, and that arguably could be becoming the next utility in some ways, because it's at unprecedented times when it comes to the new build-outs, to what hyperscalers are investing in, and just the compute needs in general. So the problem at question here is there's so much capex that these massive companies are throwing into the space. Will the revenues be catching up? I do believe it was the CFO of Alphabet that said that the risk of over-investing is smaller than under-investing, so they would rather throw these extra dollars to build out these massive projects so they can have that market share when the floodgates finally open, meaning that technology is getting better, the adoption is lagging with some corporations when it comes to some of these AI tools, but the compute is going to be the fundamental necessity to run all of this. So the amount of money that is being thrown in this domain right now, whether it's VCs or some of these hyperscalers, as I mentioned, it's something else. And if we think about the fact that the spending is continuously increasing, what is not happening is the revenues that are not catching up right now. The revenue growth from the new build-outs and the data centers is not really there just yet, but still, the money is being injected, and it's never been a better time, if you will, to focus on computing and to focus on some of these advancements that will either be inspired by human brain or will be using other means for computing or data storage or memory. That's where the advancements in innovation is really coming in. Another thing I want to highlight, again, look at how much I had prepared. Who is he? Crazy people. Another really, really important barrier that we are seeing at Plug and Play when we work with our corporate partners and also startup founders, it has never been cooler to be a nerd. Some of these engineers and some of these like masterminds, if you will, some of the experts in the engineering and AI space, they are almost making more money than some of these professional athletes. The race really is on getting the best talent hired by your company so you can have these advancements for you, and therefore that you can be emerging as a market leader or a category leader. And we see that. There's reverse acqui-hires that these companies are doing right now. So it's not only throwing money at the physical infrastructure that will be needed, and like the Googles and Facebooks and Amazons of the world will be almost like what PG&E is for electricity, but they will be doing that for the compute that will be required. They're also throwing money at the talent, at these Ronaldos of the AI world, if you will. And that is also a trend that has been happening, and we will probably be seeing even more as the whole space just gets even more hyped up than it is. And with that, this is probably the largest coordinated industrial expansion since what we have seen with the internet, meaning that all of these geographies in the United States where data centers are being developed, they get this massive capital influx. There will be these new fabs that were also mentioned before, and the capital that is going to be in this, whether again it's venture capital money or some of the client money, the time is now for that. So where does Plug and Play come in all of that? Why am I talking about this? Plug and Play acts as a mediator for all of this. As I mentioned, we work with the corporations, we work with the governments, we work with the academia and the founders. As an organization that hosts close to 400, 500 events every year, our sole goal is to bring the right people together, We have the corporates that could be startups' next customers. We have the VC network that could be your next investors. We primarily invest in early stages, but we have a vast network of investors that we co-invest, whether it's for your current syndicate or for your subsequent funding rounds. When it comes to academia, we work with them to help them commercialize some of their IP and bring that to the market. So bright minds and people that are not afraid to take those risks. I think it was Andy no, you were talking, Sam, right, about risks? Someone was talking about risks before. I didn't know the name well enough. You have to take those risks and put yourself out of the comfort zone to be able to discover some of these things that are possible. It was Sam, because you didn't want to be a founder, but you were just curious. So it's the same thing. We basically provide the sandbox and the environment to experiment with these things, to shorten your time to market by introducing you to your next customer and design partner, to shorten the time to fundraising that is needed by giving you money from plug and play or introducing you to your next investor, or in sometimes, if you're a corporate representative, to help you hit your Horizon 1, Horizon 2, Horizon 3 goals as it pertains to your innovation roadmap. So it's also similarly to how it was said before, it's a one-stop shop like the ICTGC grant as well. So this is where I will stop. I don't want to get too far into this. Actually, no, I will say this. A portfolio company of ours, Astris, helps designing semiconductors and microchips and systems on chip. The point that I was making earlier, that AI is not the final goal, the AI is not the destination, AI is means for it. So this is exactly what they're doing. They're utilizing AI technology to shorten the process of the design of these semiconductors and automate the 80-20 kind of ratio, 80% AI, and then the actual engineers and developers can be finalizing the final part where the human loop is necessary. And many, many other companies, like Laura was mentioning, investing in companies that are bringing data centers to space, investing in companies that are doing some neuromorphic or neuro-inspired computing. We've seen it all, we've heard it all. Just bring your vision, bring your strategy and roadmap and how you are planning to build a viable business, and we will introduce you to your next partners, if not become a partner ourselves. Thank you. I hope I understood the assignment in the end.
Thank you, Giannis. All right. I'll take that. So there are 3 seats here in the splash zone, and there's one more there. We're gonna auction them off to the highest bidder, because the next segment is one that you don't want to miss. So welcome to come up here, really. Yeah, don't worry. The ones back there, this is prime seat. This is Manhattan, but not anymore, Silicon Valley, right here. Silicon Valley seats right here, okay? Please come, seriously. Yeah, don't worry about it. Let's clap in. Come on, let's go. The first 3 of you. You won, come up here. Come on, it's you, and you, yes, come up here. Why not, okay? Okay, all right, there we go. Another one. One more, one last one though. If you want the ICTGC thing, you better come up here. Yeah, Amar, yes, Amar, of course. We love Amar. All right. So I know what Steve Jobs did on Saturday night. He spent time at the place called Homebrew Computer Club. And that's a place where they share what they built in their garage. Now, I can tell you that tradition continues on in a Silicon Valley style. And for that, we're going to have a segment by our hardware meetups group. And we're going to welcome Michael to tell us everything about that. Michael, this is the floor is yours now.
The slides click?
Yeah, the slide. We have the, let's see. Giannis, you have the, oh, you have a, okay. Oh, sorry.
Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause for everyone who helped put on this event. Thank you all. It's such a treat to have so many people gathering over hardware. I'm Michael. I help run Hardware Meetup. We're in 40 different cities around the world. It's a grassroots organization because developing and designing hardware is global. And so if you want to join the Discord, we have 1,000 hardware engineers, developers, founders, investors, all talking over hardware. This is not an open Discord. This is for specifically people who have come through events. Anyone visiting Silicon Valley right now from out of the country, coming, just raise your hand. About a third of people global, welcome. And so in terms of the team for Hardware Meetup, Nick and Shermy, who you saw help check in, they run the San Jose community. I work with Nate. We run San Francisco, community of 10,000 plus people, and help other cities around the world. And our goal for today is to give you a taste of the best projects and startups coming out of garages, coming out of studios. And so we've got 7 pitches for you. Each team will have 2 minutes. This is going to be rapid fire. Some people have hardware prototypes that they'll show you. And so hope you all enjoy. This is one of my favorite parts of these kinds of events. It's not only the direction and the opportunities in hardware, it's also what people are building. And so first up is Vinny. Where is Vinny? Feel free to come up. Eric, let's see. Let's welcome Eric up from Dark Hall.
Awesome, thanks Michael. G'day everyone. I'm Eric. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Dark Hall. I'm a former Air Force pilot and serial entrepreneur. My first company delivered over 2.4 million medical items by drone, predominantly in Africa, but also in the United States, the United Kingdom and Australia, where I'm from. And I'm headed up with my co-founder Vinny. Vinny's a NASA lunar program robotics engineer who oversaw payload development for the first lunar mission to land on the moon in 50 years and helped design the new lunar base that's up and coming. And I'm here to talk to you about a big problem that we're solving at Dark Hall. And I want to start off by asking the room a question. Put your hand up or give me a nod if you've had a package delivered. Most people, okay. How about a package delivered that you missed the delivery? The driver couldn't find the front door, some hands staying up, going up. How about a package that got stolen from the front door? Lots of hands getting up there, some nods. It turns out this is a huge problem. In fact, it's worth about $65 billion a year in packages and goods that are stolen from the front door across the world. The problem is actually bigger than that, and it's existential. Billions of hours of human cognition are locked up every year by people running jobs and processes that are stuck in 1950s technology. They're dangerous, they're unsafe, workers get injured, we have crashes on the ground, and often the workforce is exploited. They work in poor conditions and they struggle. This is a problem worth solving, and that's what we're doing at Dark Hall. Dark Hall is an autonomy-native, hardware-agnostic, third-party logistics company. We're building the world's first autonomous logistics company that we're going to own operations. We're going to build the world's best data models for packaging and sorting goods in the back of a truck and solving the hardest part of a delivery. Just today we got told by one of our potential proof of concept partners that the hardest part of last mile delivery is the last 10 steps between the back of the van and the front door. And we're solving that at Dark Hall. We splice our own IP into a hardware agnostic tech stack and then scale out autonomous deliveries on a city by city, route by route basis around the world. We're tackling the $1 trillion 3PL market, and our vision is to be the world's first fully autonomous 3PL. While at the moment we're using third-party robotics from anywhere in the world that tackle the hardest conditions that match where we're operating in, we intend to keep our tech stack agnostic with the optionality to vertically integrate as we move forward, potentially building our own robots end-to-end rather than just the actuators in the brain, and leaving ourselves the optionality, even for our friends here in Taiwan, to look at building our own compute systems. We're raising a seed round, a pre-seed round at the moment, and we're open to talking to investors who are interested in automating logistics end-to-end with an experienced and proven team, or autonomy hardware and software engineers that want to get involved in changing the way the world operates. Thanks very much.
Next up is Evie from Backbit.
Okay. Hello, my name is Evie. I run a small hardware business all by myself, and I currently sell these 3 products. They are essentially ROM emulation cartridges for vintage computers and game systems from the 80s and 90s, and then also a chip tester. And so these are the products I sell now. This is the most recent and the most complicated product that I've made, and I sold 500 of these in last year. It was my first injection mold, my first FPGA-based product. These are some of the specs of the product, you can see my little dev station there. I also made a proprietary bootloader. 99% of the PC boards that I got manufactured in China worked, and less than 1% of my customers returned the product. And then over the last 6 years, I've had sustained linear growth. And my next steps are I want to find a co-founder to work on a mass market product in the music industry, either a music composition or performance tool, toy, gadget. And so I'm just looking to anyone who's interested in that space and has something to contribute really in any area. Thank you.
Next up is Caitlin in the BAM team.
Ever been speed walking between meetings too slammed for lunch? This is to those who sometimes power through the day with nothing. But you shouldn't have to. BAM is a self-heating, battery-powered thermos to ensure even the busiest people can get a hot meal. Why? Busy on-the-go workers skip meals because they don't always have the time or ability to get or heat a meal. This especially affects nurses. 70% skip meals at least once a week, with one of the top 2 reasons nurses are so burnt out being that they aren't eating due to lack of time. And this also affects a lot of different people, from new parents to construction workers to students. Enter BAM, a self-heating battery-powered thermos. We're the only ones that ensure food is hot exactly when you want, is 20% lighter than competitors, and designed with our users in mind. We already spoke to over 150 customers, secured our provisional patent, and developed a working prototype, and have customers on our interest list, letters of intents with tech companies, won non-dilutive funding from Carnegie Mellon's McGinnis competition, and received $100K from the hardware accelerator Alpha Lab Gear. We are we're currently raising $500K through pre-seed safes to do our pilot and also to produce our first 100 units, which will let us generate the buzz that we really need and also create a lot of pent-up demand. We're especially looking for angels who are interested in consumer electronics, hardware, or food tech. And we're also looking for manufacturers as we start to gear up for our pilot production. So yeah, if you're interested, if you're an investor, or if you are related to manufacturing or just interested, I'd love to chat with you. You can find us at www.thebamshop.com. And yeah, we're going to change the way people enjoy hot meals and beverages and ask for your support to get us to launch. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Next up is Taylor and Drover Labs. Going once. Going twice. No. After. Next up is Think Circuits. I love the spirit.
Thank you, Michael. Okay. Hi, I'm the co-founder of Think Circuits. We actually build sophisticated hardware AI on ICs, and you might know one of our AI on the edge with combustion. We work with the founder, who's an innovator and the author of the modernist cuisine, and so our AI on the edge has shipped to customers successfully, and we know about the production process and how hard it can be. So we actually work with a lot of startups to design and form technology solutions, AI on the edge. But I'm really excited to tell you about mirror articulate intelligence. So another AI for hardware is our prompt to hardware agent. This can code embedded. AI on the hardware will happen in minutes instead of longer iterations. You just write a natural language prompt and the behavior you'd like it, and then it turns it into production code. And it's especially excels currently on ICs, MCUs, but we also can emit ROS too, and hopefully robotics. But if it's an IC, it's one shot. It can one-shot it. And more exciting too, actually, this way, is our mirror agent, because we discovered that building AI agents, it's quite easy. So now we have a super agent we're building. This super agent actually orchestrates multiple domain-specific agents for you to bring these complex projects to production, from development, which we're experts at, to production, which we're also quite good at, and help partner with other companies do this. So we've turned ourselves into a super AI agent orchestration. There are demos. It's working. I would say it's alpha, but you know, it was pretty fast to spin up. So, okay, there's project management. It can hire people. It will give you the next steps, breaks like EE, mechanical engineering, all the different domain-specific. It generates agents and then coordinates it. And there's a Gantt chart to like actually analyze the cost in project management agent as well. So it collapses this problem of hardware into a very orchestrated. You can see around the corners the problems, and anybody who's developing hardware, it's a complex problem, and this will be your co-developer, co-manager in this. So thank you so much. We'll reach out to me for demos, and we are bootstrap, but proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Donna. Next up, we have Madhu. Coming in from Warsaw, Poland, fresh off of CES. Let's welcome Hubert to the stage.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Hubert. I'm one of the co-founder of Modu, and we are redefining how human interacts with the machine. So from 1968, when the first mouse and keyboard were invented, not really much changed to this day. So we are still using keyboards and mouses. And we see that people find it difficult to interact with the digital world, especially now when we got a lot of new softwares every day, new tools, new AI power tools, and so on. So our idea is to make the first step with the customization. And the customization itself, we are seeing as creating the perfect hardware, but also the perfect software for yourself. So you will be able to create the perfect deck and perfect combination of software and hardware. So we are doing the modular controller with our companion application, which has right now 4 different modules that you can mix and match up to 16 of them. And our companion application is also working and connecting with the different applications like Teams, Zoom, and can be also used for gaming, streaming, audio production, and things like that. How do we know that this makes sense? So people have told us. We have generated over 50 million views on social media. We got really strong presence there. We got more than 40,000 email community, and everything we have done without any marketing spendings. So we have raised also more than $500,000 via Kickstarter and our pre-orders. And right now we are on the stage when we have made the first first testing production, so production validation testing. And we are doing the testing phase. So first end customers are testing our devices, and they are also telling us what is visible on the slide. So yeah, thank you very much. We got our demo there, so my co-founders are also there with the suitcase. So you are able to see that. We are here to look for distributors for the US, but also for the investors for upcoming mass production. Thank you very much.
We got one more pitch for you all. Tom from Captify.
Thank you. Hey everyone, last pitch. So hi, I'm Tom, and actually this is a big day because as of last week, Captify celebrated its 1-year birthday. We launched at thank you. We launched at CES last year, and now we're back at CES this year. It was a really exciting time. We won the Age Tech ARP Group award, which is actually the largest group for older adults. Now, Captify started was my hearing loss. I've spent over $20,000 on hearing aids because I can't hear in noisy environments like this. And I realized I wasn't alone. There's 1.5 billion people with some degree of hearing loss. Hearing loss is actually the leading preventable cause of dementia. And the reason why that's the case is because hearing accommodations sound terrible. I'm going to play some audio. You guys are not going to like it, so I apologize in advance. Oops, I guess the audio doesn't work. But hearing aids sound terrible in noisy environments. So we built a solution that solves that. And we bypass the broken hearing system and give you crystal clear captions for every conversation. Our captions are up to 98% accurate. They work in challenging noise environments. We're powered by 2 powerful directional microphones to pick up audio and noise. And I'm going to play a demo for you. Oh, I guess that's not there. I think the videos are missing from this presentation. But you can see that demo, we actually got over 80 million views on it. Now, Captify has grown a lot since we've launched. As of, I think, our last hardware meetup, we were at 1,000 units shipped. We now produce 3x that to keep up with demand, which is really exciting. We're now at 200K monthly revenue, so we've scaled quickly with the company. And we're partnered with the largest groups in the space. So AARP, the Veterans Association, would spend $500 million on hearing aids alone. And multiple audiology clinics, including partnership with a large buying group. So we'll be in 85 clinics early this year, which is really exciting. Now, Captify is powered by a cool revenue model. We have a hardware sale with a subscription service for the captioning that we can bundle in at the point of sale, which unlocks significant latent demand in the hearing aid market. And that's the pitch, and happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you to all the founders. We have a lot of hardware demos, so go find the founders afterwards to actually get to play with the products that they brought. For anyone who wants to pitch, we're going to wrap up right now because we're all here to network and connect. Feel free to scan this. This is an open mic form. If you're looking for a role, if you're working on a project, if you're looking for a co-founder, this is a community open mic that we blast to everyone after the event, so feel free to scan this. We'll keep this up for a little bit. Just want to thank again John and all the partners in the team. Awesome event. Thanks for having us. I'll pass it off back to you.
Thank you, Michael. All right, so for those of you, that's good. Back there. All right, so you know where to go on Saturday night now, and you're gonna be a billionaire one day. So thank you for coming. Now we got something nice coming up, okay? And one good reason to be on the Splash Zone is you get to get the first pick. We have a box of fortune cookies coming up, and there's a secret message inside, okay? Keep that message because it's gonna make you rich. So we may run out very soon because we expected maybe 100 people to come, but it's blowing to like 400 or 500 people. So for the, oh yes, all right. There's money inside, I'm just kidding. But you make the money and you make it happen. Taiwan loves you, and Taiwan will always be there with you to scale your business, to realize your dreams, and of course, make everything happen. Hardware, Laura said, hardware is sexier than ever because now you go from AI, now they're gonna become physical. And that's what the next future will be. So please come back again, and we look forward to working with you. Now, the networking session is actually gonna continue. So feel free to use that space, use this space. There's a kiosk on that far corner where ICTGC has set up. Go there to get information on how Taiwan can help you to scale. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you, and continue to support Taiwan. Taiwan will continue to support you as well. Thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody. All right.